Hello there. I'm back today with Bill, and Bill is holding a Wingsung 629 piston filling fountain pen, which may look familiar, which is mighty similar to something, I don't know, like a Mont Blanc 146, that kind of thing. So I'm going to run through what I think about this pen. We'll do a little writing sample, and then I'll give this pen away. I've not done a giveaway before, so bear with me if it's all a bit disjointed, but I'll say up front, I'll give this away. It will be UK only, I'm afraid, because I'll include the postage in the giveaway, so it will be free. I suppose if you are located somewhere other than the UK and you would like to enter, then that's fine, but you'd have to pay the postage, which probably wouldn't make it worthwhile. That's the only reason why. Okay, so I will go through that later, but just want to say that up front so that people didn't go watch the whole video and then find it's only UK and, row. Because I've got quite a lot of dog viewers, so I didn't want to upset them. Okie dokie. Let's have a look at this then. So, as I say, it's basically the homage, tribute act, whatever you like to call it, clone of a Mont Blanc 146. You've got the cigar shape and domed finials. You've got a ring there. You have a piston turning knob there. You have one thick and two thin cap rings here, which say on them Wing Sung 629, made in China. You have a clip, which is quite usable, not too stiff. You got a little notch there on that clip as well. It is a screw cap and it unscrews in about 1.5. To reveal a familiar looking ink window there. Nice little section, which then just flares out a little bit, and you've got a ring before you get to the nib, which is a steel Wingsung nib, and this is a fine two-toned nib with a plastic feed. So all very nice and probably very familiar. Shall we look at some measurements? Okie dokie. Hello. Yeah, so you got length, capped, uncapped, and posted. Sorry, it does post. Unlike another clone of said pen, which I will get to. So that does post securely and well. It doesn't put too much extra weight on the back. In fact, that's quite pleasant, actually, if I was a poster, which I'm not. But anyway, so capped, uncapped, posted. Then you've got the weight. It is inked, so give or take a little bit. Capped, uncapped, and the cap on its own. So yeah, you got a bit of weight in that cap, actually. The metal work on there. Section is 11.5 up at the threads, and then just going down to 10.5 before you get to the nib. And the barrel starts off at 12.5 around the ink window here. You got kind of, I'm sure there's a technical term, but bulges out in the middle of the barrel and then tapering back in. It's 12.4 just before you get to the ring of the piston knob. So as I say, it is a piston filler. You've got ink window there, familiar. Not sure if you can see through the ink. No, it's not catching that. But yeah, piston works well. No particular issues with that. These threads, they're not sharp. You just might feel that last one. If you were holding back up here a little bit, you feel that last thread a little bit. Most of them are okay, but it's almost a step down off the thread. So maybe that transition could have been done a little bit better. yeah, sections. It's not long. It's not too short. It's about right, I suppose. But my fingers do come up, even if I'm holding down here. Sorry, even if I'm holding down here towards the nib, they still do touch on that. It's not stupidly uncomfortable, but you might be aware of that, especially if you wanted to grip ever so slightly back. That might sit on a resting finger, might get a bit uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay, let's look at a comparison with some other pens. I'm going to have to change my angles. So here we have some other pens to compare to. So you've got the Wingsung 629. I didn't have my Wingsung 630 to hand. So in the Mont Blanc clone stakes, we've got a Jinhao X159. Then I've also got a Moonman P136, which is the one Mont Blanc 146, their effort at it. And as you can see, they are very, very similar from the outside. I'll take a quick look at them in a second. Sailor 1911 large and a Bennu Talisman down this side. And then for some larger comparisons, you've got a Leonardo Mameda Zero Grande, Bennu Euphoria, Bourbon in this case, Pelican M1000, Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age, a Noto Magna Classic, and then a Diplomat Excellence A2. So let's just take a closer look at these two, just as they are very comparable pens. Sorry, bit of condensation and dust on there. So I'll be as scientific as I possibly can with this. In fact, where's me thingy? There we go. So if I line these up, there we go. So these are almost pretty much exactly the same dimensions from the outside. There are a few differences once you unscrew. So if you see, I mean, not a lot, but so if I go back to that, I'm not going to line it up again because it's ridiculous. But let's zoom in a little bit. So, don't know if you can see, but if I put the nib tips level-ish, here we go. So then the Moonman ends up being actually a little bit shorter, with, I presume, the cap a little bit longer, actually. Yeah, so there's a bit of difference. So when they're capped, they look almost exactly the same dimensionally, but the Wingsung cap is a bit shorter and the pen is a bit longer, and the reverse is true for the Moonman. Also, the nib, the Moonman is slightly different shape. Obviously, it's their own in-house nib, I suppose. And also, as well documented, the Moonman is very hit and miss as to whether or not it will post. Mine doesn't. I've seen some that do, albeit with a little bit of effort. But yeah, there's that comparison. Writing sampler. Sorry, I think Bill's brought a cat in, killed it. Could be my singing. Anyway, right, let us try and get the focus a little bit better on this. How's that? Not too bad. So we have a Wingsung. .629 with a fine steel nib. Incidentally, you can get these with a gold nib from Wingsung. Come back to that. Ink is Diamine Majestic Blue. And silence. It's not bad. So it's a good flow. It is a fine. There is a bit of feedback, and I'm not sure whether I like it or not, but let's just do it quickly for a second. So flow keeps up absolutely fine. Wetness, not bad at all. Not stupid, but that's a good flow for a fine, I find. Line variation, so no pressure. You're getting a fine line. You can get a little bit out of it, predominantly putting a bit more ink down more than anything else. But it is stiff, but you can do a little tiny bit out of it. But it takes quite a bit of pressure. So pretty stiff there. Yeah, I don't use this a lot, if I'm honest. Hence giving it away. But I mean, I do remember that's just rubbing on my finger just a little bit, but that's where I hold it, so it's not specific to, or it is specific to where you hold it. Sorry. The nib performance, it's good. It's got some feedback on it, just from certain angles. So I mean, look, I'm notorious also for. I say notorious. I'm notorious to myself for kind of my angle. I can accidentally angle the nib a certain way, and this and that and the other, and so some of that might be myself. So I think a lot of people would be happy with this. But look, this is basically just full disclosure because I'm going to give it away, and I've got better performing nibs than this. It's okay if you know how to tune a nib to where you like it. Not a problem. It flows well, which is the important thing. So if you wanted to get it adjusted or whatever to your liking, then that's your thing. But functionally, i.e. it puts down ink on the page in a reliable fashion, you're all right. Okay, so what do I think of this? Shall I zoom back out? Is that cat again? Yeah, so focus. So it's okay. I prefer like the 149 size, so something like the Jinhao X159, the Wingsung 630. I prefer that size. I can write with this size fine, but I do find this is a little bit light for me, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think the Mont Blanc Piston may be brass. So that's where you get a little bit of extra weight in the barrel, perhaps. And I assume this is a plastic one, so it's a little bit more. I'll polish this up. I mean, look, if it just is a little, possibly a few little micro scratches on the barrel. Some of it I can polish out a little bit. But look, you're getting a used pen. It's not out the box, okay? I've had it for a month or two, not used it a lot. Instantly, I don't use it a lot, and that started up, as you saw, pretty much straight away. There's just like a little tiny weeny bit of dryness there. So it's a reliable nib. You just might have to, you might like the feedback, you might not, but you can do what you like with it. Yeah, just doesn't sing to me, I'm afraid. I think it's a little bit light for me for this size. I don't mind this size, but I like a bit more heft. The nib's okay, it is reliable, but yeah, I don't know. I'm unsure about the particular brand of feedback. There is that step off the cap threads there, which I don't find great. It does post well, should you want to post it. If you're a poster, this is, as opposed to the Moon Man, this is the one for you. Because that does post nice and securely and easily. You don't have to jam that on there or anything like that. So yeah, it's not bad, it's functional. So these go for anywhere between £20 and £30 thereabouts with a steel nib. Places like AliExpress, potentially Amazon, eBay, or wherever. so British pounds that is, and whatever your international equivalent may be. You can get one, I've seen one with gold nib option, so 14 carat I think, but don't quote me on it, made by Wing Sung, for around about £85-90 on occasion on AliExpress and things. So you can get a decent, look, if that's a comfortable pen for you, you can get a gold nib upgrade on that for pretty much, I don't know, 60 quid, which ain't bad. Yeah, that's about it really. Right, so how do you win this pen? Basically, as I say, all the things there, I've tried to do full disclosure on it. I don't use it, I'm not bothered. So I got over 500 subscribers recently, so we'll call it one of them, shall we? So, how do you enter? Subscribe to my channel. Yes, I'm shamelessly hawking myself out for subscribers. And comment down below. Comment down below with what you think. I'm going to go off topic here. Comment down below of what you think the best... This is obviously subjective. It's a bit of fun, right? So no fighting. The best ever film trilogy is, and if you want to put why, that's fine, but you don't have to. I have my own opinion and I might disclose it at the end. But it's a bit of fun. So please don't go, this is actually the best. What is your favourite? What do you think? Right. Have a good one. Comment down below. I'll give it, say, a week from posting, and then I will randomly pick a comment through a number generator jobby, and then I will let you know who's won. Take it easy. Hope you vaguely enjoyed all of this malarkey. See you next time. Have fun. Bye.